Hello, I want to go through this sketchbook. It is a Stillman and Birn Alpha Series sketchbook, and I started it in early 2021 and completed it at the end of 2021. And it is got a variety of stuff. So I started the first sketch in using watercolor and gouache and quickly discovered that the Alpha paper, series paper, does not work for it. It's also got a bit of a tooth to it, but I used it mainly for sketching and testing out things. So this is a test drawing of some lilacs that I was working on for a painting, and I wanted to work out some of how I wanted to think and break down the values of the flowers. And that's what I use sketching so much for. Sketching informs my fine art, my paintings. It is an opportunity to explore and test things out. And so I just thought I would share with you some of my sketches. Here is a sketch of some dahlias that I was working on, some primrose. And this I was experimenting with colored pencil and regular graphite pencil. Lots of graphite. I love using bound sketchbooks for graphite, but this paper, the Alpha paper, is a little bit too, in my opinion, too rough. And it's prone to smearing graphite if I'm not careful. Okay, so another drawing of some mascari and hellebore and some forget-me-nots. There we go. Another forget-me-nots. Looks like it's got some hellebore, mascari, and that is redbud. Some more some daffodils, fritillaria. And one of the things that I encourage about sketching is to sketch every day. And that means that if you only have a few minutes, then you do some hatching, or like this is the start of a drawing. I probably had only a few minutes, and I left it at that. Here's some Virginia bluebells. I had a little bit more time, so I was able to do a further drawing. But a lot of my sketches are very simple. I try to sketch every day, and depending on how much time I have available, I will further along. So I often start off with a big block in, and then I refine the line drawing, and then I'll start adding some hatching and tone. But if I run out of time, I will either come back to it or I will start anew. This is a green hellebore from April 2021. So again, I just sketch. I'm always exploring and testing things out. Here's an example of a sketch that never got beyond the kind of the big gesture and big shape block in. A pretty little rosebud. Some bluebells. First peony of the season. So some drawings obviously get a little bit more developed and others don't. A poppy, which I love poppies. More poppies. An iris, but see, it's a barely a completed drawing. Some peonies. Some roses that never got beyond the big shape block in. I had started to refine my drawing, but obviously at the end of the day, stopped. Here is another rose. Got a little bit further along on that one. Oh, and some quick sketch. Now this paper, Alpha paper, does take the Faber-Castell artist pens really nicely. And that is something that I like. Now this is using a charcoal pencil with, and I would say this is not the surface to use charcoal pencil. It rubs and smudges really a lot. Here's another charcoal pencil of some Nicotiana. Again, smudges quite a bit. very beginning of a rough block-in, but we didn't get very far. Exploration of a still life setup with some daffodils, peonies, looking at the value concept. So I definitely use my sketchbook to explore a bunch of ideas. And then like occasionally I'll even play with doing a hatch, like a value hatch of a cube. Line drawing. This is with charcoal pencil, Faber-Castell Sanguine. And this is from we have concerts in the park every Friday in the summertime. And one of the quotes from his song is, "It's the beautiful that saves me." And I was really struck by that. Again, alpha paper takes the artist pit pens excellently. So in the future, I think if I get another alpha sketchbook, it will be relegated to pen and ink only, actually, because it takes ink so well. These are very fast. Like I probably only had a minute or two to draw. And so I did these gestures of our cat. She likes to sneak through a little bit more refined drawing of my cat. But again, it doesn't take, this alpha paper, in my opinion, doesn't take pencil as well as I would like it to. Some more gesture of Prim. A quick sketch of my daughter. More random sketches of Prim. When Prim was not feeling good and had to wear the cone of shame. I think it's funny that the vets call it the Elizabethan collar instead. Me exploring the idea of shading of a hydrangea flower. Me looking at the overall blocking and abstracting the big shapes of a hydrangea. Prim. More Prim. So every day, I try to sketch. It's the best way, I think, to unwind at the end of the day. And also it just gives me an opportunity, a safe place to explore and really just explore and try different things out. Things that, that it doesn't need to be anything specific or special. It's just an exploration of drawing. And that's my sketchbook, Stillman and Birn Alpha series.